Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Great to have you with us as we, try to cut through the noise on the really important stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack this one. We are kicking off the college football season with, well, what a lot of people are calling one of the most anticipated openers in years.
Oh, definitely. The hype is real.
It's the #1 Texas Longhorns heading to Columbus to face the #3 Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, this isn't just a game, right?
No, not at all. It feels like an immediate championship preview. A huge clash right out of the gate.
Exactly. Could define the whole season for both teams, really, from day one. So, our mission today, give you the ultimate shortcut to understanding why this game is an absolute must-watch.
Yeah, we'll get into the strategies, the key players, all of it.
And maybe even some interesting predictions later on. So, mark your calendars. Saturday, August 30th, 2025. Kickoff is 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
Live from Ohio Stadium in Columbus.
And you can catch it all on FOX.
Now, the really crucial angle here, I think, is that this isn't happening in a vacuum. There's immediate history. These two just played last season, didn't they? College football playoff semifinal, the Cotton Bowl.
They did. And Ohio State came out on top, 28-14.
Right.
Went on to win the whole thing, the national championship.
Yeah, they did.
And man, that finish, do you remember that? Texas had this golden chance driving all the way down.
Yeah.
They were on Ohio State's 1-yard line.
Oh, I remember. Heartbreak city for Texas fans.
A chance to tie it late. But then, that pitch play, it just went completely wrong. Loss of 8 yards.
Yeah, bad timing for that play call.
Then an incomplete pass. 4th down, quarterback Quinn Ewers gets sacked, fumbles.
And Ohio State's Jack Sawyer jumps on it. Game over.
Just brutal. A really tough ending for Texas, but a defining championship moment for the Buckeyes.
For sure. And if you connect that moment, that really dramatic finish, to now.
Yeah.
Well, it sets the stage for way more than just a standard rematch.
How so?
Well, there's immense historical weight here. This is only the 5th time these two powerhouses have ever met.
Only the 5th, yeah.
Yeah. And get this. In 3 of the previous 4 games between them, the winner went on to play for the national title.
Okay, so the stakes are inherently massive when these two get together.
Exactly. And Texas's only win ever against Ohio State. It was actually in Columbus back in 2005. So this opener just ramps up the pressure instantly. Both programs, they have these national title or bust expectations for 2025. And while, okay, a loss in week 1 isn't necessarily a season killer.
Right, it's early.
It's early, but look at the schedules ahead. Texas has Georgia, Oklahoma, the whole SEC gauntlet. Ohio State's got Penn State, those Big Ten landmines, and that team up north.
Yeah, no easy paths for either team.
So this opener becomes even more critical for playoff positioning right away. A loss here. It doesn't just sting. It means you're playing catch-up for a top seed from the jump.
So it really is a massive litmus test for both teams' championship hopes. Sets the whole tone.
Definitely.
And speaking of new beginnings, maybe the biggest personnel change, the biggest question mark for both teams. It's got to be a quarterback, right?
Oh, absolutely. New commanders under center for both squads.
For Texas, you've got Arch Manning, the junior, probably the most talked about player in maybe college football history, stepping in as the full-time starter.
And already a Heisman favorite, plus 700 odds I saw.
Yeah. His stats last year in limited action were pretty impressive. 61 of 90 passing, 939 yards, 9 touchdowns, only 2 picks, good passer rating, 126.1.
And he can run a bit too, right? Added some rushing yards and touchdowns.
He did. 146 rushing yards, 4 scores on the ground. And the PFF grades, those pro football focus grades that measure individual play, they backed it up. Solid passing and running grades.
Okay, so high expectations there. And on the other side?
For Ohio State, it's Julian Sayin, redshirt freshman, another former 5-star guy. But this is his first career start.
Wow, okay, so this really raises a huge question, doesn't it?
Which is?
How does Arch Manning handle his first true road start, especially against a defense like Ohio State's, which, even with losses, is going to be talented in playing at home?
Right, his experience is pretty limited. What was it, 95 career pass attempts?
Yeah, 95 attempts, and crucially, all of them were at home. Mostly against, maybe lesser competition like UTSA and ULM.
Okay.
He's seen as this big game hunter, apparently likes to push the ball downfield. His ADOT that's averaged up the target was 11.1 yards. That's pretty aggressive.
And 10.4 yards per attempt. Impressive efficiency when he connects.
It is. But does that aggressive style maybe lead to a higher risk of mistakes, turnovers, especially in his first big road test against that kind of defense in that stadium?
That's the million-dollar question for Texas, I guess. And Sayin?
Even less experience. He's only thrown 12 passes in his career. 12.
Wow.
So you got to think Ohio State might, lean pretty heavily on the run game initially, try to ease him into things, manage the pressure, limit his exposure early.
A more cautious approach, perhaps?
Could be. So yeah, both QBs are incredibly talented, no doubt. But the real insight isn't just about who adapts faster. It's about how each team has built their game plan, their roster, to kind of protect or unleash these young guys.
Which young QB avoids that critical game-changing mistake.
Exactly. That might be the difference.
Composure is key, absolutely.
Yeah.
But while the QBs get the headlines, often it's the defense that provides that stability, that baseline.
True.
And speaking of defenses, let's talk about Texas. Their unit in 2024 was just dominant.
Absolutely lights out.
The numbers are kind of staggering. Number 1 in the country in yards per play allowed just 3.99. Number 1 in yards per pass attempt allowed 5.15.
And that EPA per play allowed stat expected points added number 1 there too. Basically, they just shut offenses down.
Yeah, and second in scoring defense, only giving up like 11.7 points per game, just suffocating.
A huge part of that was their edge rusher, Colin Simmons.
Oh yeah, the true pass rush phenom. That's what the sources called him.
Led the team with 9 sacks, had a fantastic pass rush grade from PFF, generated, 46 total pressures? Just lived in the backfield.
And the good news for Texas, they bring back a decent chunk of that production.
Yeah, 62.1% of their defensive production returns. That continuity, that experience, especially on defense,
Right.
That's huge. Gives them confidence.
It does, but, and there's always a but, right?
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Let's flip to the offensive side for Texas, because here's where it gets, as you put it, really interesting.
Okay.
Their 2024 offense was good, top tier even. Averaged 33 points, almost 440 yards a game.
Yeah.
Threw 40 touchdown passes.
Oh.
Potent stuff.
But
the 2025 unit, they only returned 4 starters.
yeah.
And the big one, the critical point, they lost 4 starters on the offensive line.
Oof. That's a massive rebuild up front.
Massive. And the transfers they brought in to fill those gaps, they only have 46 total starts combined among them. That lack of cohesion, that inexperience.
That could be the Achilles heel right there, especially against an Ohio State defensive front that's always loading with talent, even if they lost guys.
Exactly. It could really impact their run game. But maybe more importantly, how much time does Arch Manning actually have back there? It tests their whole offensive foundation.
Yeah, that O-line matchup feels critical.
It does. Though, got to give Texas credit where it's due. They do have an impressive 11-game active road winning streak coming into this.
That's pretty strong. Shows they can win away from Austin.
It does.
Yeah.
But the question is, how many of those wins were against this level of competition in this kind of hostile environment? The shoe is different gravy.
No doubt about it. And if you want to talk about dominant home field advantage, I mean, that brings us right to Ohio State.
The defending champs. Their 2024 defense was, well, arguably the best in the country. Number 1 in SP+, an advanced metric.
Just suffocating. Allowed only 4.05 yards per play, 1.03 points per drive, both best in the nation.
They got after the quarterback, too, right? First in pressure rate.
Yeah, and their coverage was locked down, fewest yards allowed per drop back, of just elite across the board.
And that secondary, led by safety Caleb Downs, heard him described as maybe the best player in college football, period.
He's incredible. Had 67 tackles last year, and get this. Targeted 9 times in coverage, allowed only 24 yards. Quarterbacks just stopped throwing his way.
Well, but here's the flip side for Ohio State, connecting it back.
Okay, the challenge.
They lost a ton of talent. You mentioned it earlier. 14 guys to the NFL draft.
Including 4 first-rounders. That's a brain drain and a talent drain.
And critically, only 3 returning starters on that dominant defense. 3.
Ouch. Plus, they lost both coordinators, offensive and defensive.
So this isn't just replacing players, it's potentially a whole new identity, especially on defense, right?
It really is. It's a significant challenge. Day and his new staff, they might have to simplify things early on, Test the waters.
Which could maybe open things up for Texas.
Less complex schemes. Potentially. Could expose a new secondary, maybe a less experienced pass rush than last year. It's not just about plugging holes. It's rebuilding that on-field chemistry under fire, especially generating that elite pressure they had. That's hard to replicate instantly.
Makes sense. What about their offense?
Well, last year, even though they played kind of slow, tempo-wise, they were super efficient. 3rd in SP+ offensively, great QB play, obviously, and a really strong O-line.
Yeah, they barely allowed pressure, like 1.7% of dropbacks or something crazy low.
Exactly. Protects the quarterback. Now, offensively this year, the guy everyone's watching is wide receiver Jeremiah Smith.
The true freshman phenom last year exploded onto the scene.
Yeah, 12,224 yards, 14 touchdowns as a freshman, just electric. But Here's a fascinating little nugget from that CFP game last year.
What's that?
Texas actually held him completely in check. 1 catch, 3 yards.
Whoa! 1 catch for 3 yards. How do they manage that?
Good question. Maybe bracket coverage, maybe just a bad game? But it shows Texas can neutralize a superstar weapon. At least they did once.
Interesting wrinkle. And finally, you got to mention Ohio State's home field.
Oh, absolutely. Under Ryan Day, they are just dominant at home. 37 wins, only 3 losses straight up since 2019.
And that season opener streak.
25 straight wins in season openers. It's remarkable. Day just knows how to get his teams ready, especially for these huge games.
6-0 against ranked teams in their last 6 matchups like this.
Yeah, that's a powerful psychological edge, you know? Especially when you're breaking in a new quarterback. Playing at home helps settle those nerves.
No doubt. That home crowd, that track record, definitely factors to consider, especially with both teams having new QBs. How do you think Ohio State will compensate for those defensive losses? Will they try to, force feed Jeremiah Smith or spread it out?
That's a great question. I think their strategy, both offensively and defensively, will tell us a lot about how adaptable this new-look staff is. But okay, let's talk numbers. The betting lines.
Right. What are the odds saying?
Right now, it's tight. Ohio State is favored, but only by 1 to 1.5 points. Basically, a pick-em on a neutral field.
And the total. The over-under.
Hovering around 47.5 points. Suggests the defenses are still respected, maybe not expecting a total shootout despite the offensive talent.
Okay. And predictions. I saw some leaning Ohio State, 31-18 or maybe a closer 26-23.
Yeah, those are out there. But if we dig a bit deeper into specific player props and game scenarios, I've got a few thoughts, a few angles I like.
I'd like to hear them.
First one, Arch Manning, over 236.5 passing yards.
Okay, why?
Or a few reasons. That inexperienced Texas O-line we talked about, it might actually force more quick passes, get the ball out fast, could inflate his attempts.
Okay, counterintuitive maybe, but makes sense.
Plus, Manning himself, he likes to push it downfield, right? He's not checking down constantly. That style leads to bigger yardage totals when it connects.
And Ewers threw for almost 300 yards against them last year.
Exactly. Ewers threw for 283 in the CFP game. And Ohio State's defense, remember, lost a ton of talent, especially impacting pressure generation. They rank way down, 85th in returning defensive production, plus a new defensive coordinator.
So opportunity might be there.
Could be. And if the Texas run game struggles because of that O-line, they might have to throw more. So I like the over 236.5 for Manning.
Okay, prop number 1. What was?
Second one, Ryan Wingo, the Texas wide receiver, over 50.5 receiving yards.
Wingo. Okay, tell me about him.
He's expected to be the guy stepping into that WR1 role for Texas. Should see a good volume of targets, maybe 8 to 10 targets, as Manning looks for a primary option.
Especially if that Stanford transfer, Emmett Mosley, is limited.
Right. If Mosley is questionable or out, that just consolidates the targets even more towards Wingo. Manning needs a go-to guy he trusts, and Wingo seems poised to be that player. Over 50.5 feels achievable.
All right, Wingo over 50.5. Got it. Any game props?
Yeah, one game prop I like. First half, under 23.5 total points.
Under in the first half. Interesting. Both offenses have firepower.
They do. Potential firepower. But think about it. It's August, first game, massive hype, 2 top 5 teams. These games often start a bit cautiously, tentatively.
Nerves. Feeling each other out.
Exactly. You've got Arch Manning's first real road start, immense pressure. You've got Ohio State likely wanting to ease Julian Sain in, maybe running the ball more early.
So not opening up the playbook right away.
Probably not. Could lead to a safer, lower-scoring first half before things maybe open up after halftime,
Yeah.
Early season heat, intensity, new faces. Coaches tend to play it a bit tighter early, so first half, under 23.5.
That's a really insightful breakdown of the betting angles, tying together a lot of what we've discussed. Okay, so pulling it all together, what a matchup.
Phenomenal. 2 truly elite programs.
Both breaking in these highly touted but inexperienced quarterbacks. Both have defenses with questions but also huge potential. And both have legitimate championship dreams right from week 1.
It's a massive test of new leadership, returning talent, coaching adjustments, everything, really.
It really is.
So ultimately, I guess the question for you, as you're watching this game, boils down to this.
Right.
You've got all this talent, yes, but also significant changes players, coaches on both sides.
Yeah.
Which team's new leadership, especially at quarterback, makes that decisive play?
Right.
Who steps up when it really matters most in this insane pressure cooker of a season opener? Is it Texas, maybe fueled by that heartbreak from last year?
Or is it Ohio State, Reloading, banking on that home field advantage.
That's the story. That's what's going to decide this thing.
That really is the core question, isn't it? Could define the early season, maybe even playoff paths. Okay, final prediction time. Got to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
This feels like it's going to be tight, hard-fought.
I'm
going to go with Ohio State 27, Texas 24.
Close one.
Yeah, I think the home field, the shoe, and maybe just Ohio State's proven experience in handling these massive games, even with new faces, I think that gives them the slightest edge. Just barely.
Fair enough. It's going to be a battle.
Definitely. And just to recap those props we liked. Arch Manning, over 236.5 passing yards. Ryan Wingo, over 50.5 receiving yards. And the first half, under 23.5 total points.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into a huge college football opener. Hopefully you feel prepped and ready for kickoff.
Enjoy the game, everyone.
Yeah, enjoy the game. And join us next time as we continue our deep dive into the world of knowledge.